Hello everyone and welcome to the Allianz Arena for what is amazingly Bayern München's first ever home game against Eintracht Frankfurt in the DFB Cup. Despite their long, noble traditions, the both of them in the Bundesliga, it's the first time they've ever met in the Cup at the Allianz Arena. It's a replay of the final from 2018, which Frankfurt won 3-1. And what an exciting game this one promises to be. This is the DFB-Pokal. I'm Phil Bonney. Bayern was stunned by the Eagles in the 2018 final, but hit back to win the competition for a record 19th time a year ago, seeing off Leipzig 3-0 at the Olympiastadion in Berlin. Hansi Flick's men are also on course for an 8th consecutive Bundesliga title. And of course, they still have their eye on the treble. Inconsistent results this term have left Adi Hütter's side in no man's land in the table. European football is now beyond their reach, but recent wins over Wolfsburg and Bremen mean they should avoid getting dragged into the relegation scrap. But they will certainly be giving this one their all, because although it's been almost 20 years since they last beat Bayern in Munich, a win today, of course, could see them into the final, and if they win that, that will mean Europa League football next term as well. If the prospect of travelling to Bayern wasn't ominous enough, Frankfurt will have to do so without their chief creative influence, Filip Kostic, who was sent off for a late foul on Ömer Toprak in the 2-0 quarter-final win over Werder Bremen, and was subsequently handed a 4-match ban. This is how the home side line up, and actually there's just one change to the side that put 4 past Bayer Leverkusen at the weekend. You'll notice that Ivan Perisic has come into the side up front on the left for Serge Gnabry. That is because Serge Gnabry had taken a bit of a knock in his back in that game and is out precautionary-wise for today's game. Also, you'll notice Lewandowski and Müller, Robert Lewandowski and Thomas Müller up front. They won't be available in the league, so you can expect those two to give their all today, but you pretty much expect them to give their all every day, because that's the sort of players they are. Otherwise, there are no changes for Bayern München. This is the lineup for Adi Hütter's Eintracht Frankfurt. Now, this is the lineup that we think they're going to play. It could move around right after the start. Kevin Trapp in goal, a back three with Ndika, Abraham and Hinteregger, but it is possible that Ilsanker will move back into that back four. It could become a back five, it could become a back six if they need to, and the way Bayern are playing at the moment, that could be a possibility. Dominic Kor and Sebastian Roeder are in. Roeder, of course, up against the side that he played for a couple of years. Mijat Kacinovic and Andre Silva leading the line for Eintracht Frankfurt. Silva has scored a couple of goals recently, and he could certainly do with a couple of goals this evening if they are to get through to the next round, which is, of course, the final in Berlin in the Olympiastadion on July the 4th. Reds against racism, Black Lives Matter needs no saying. Absolutely 100%. DFB very much behind that. They firmly oppose all sorts of racism, discrimination, violence, and stands for tolerance, openness and diversity. As we all should, to be honest. It's going to be a good game. Hopefully, it's going to be a game with plenty to watch, and it's always nice to share. Watching it with me today, although we're not sitting next to one another as we usually are, is a former Bundesliga and Premier League professional, and pretty much my main man these days when it comes to commentating football games, Stefan Freund. Stefan, we work together a lot, and I must say, I'm glad about that, because it's always fun when we work together and we get to see quite a lot of good games.
No question. Good evening, Phil. Good evening to everyone in the world. And semi-final, the DFB Cup. What a day. And of course, we both enjoy to celebrate for the supporters now a special game. And if you see the lineups, it will be really interesting. The first time, Phil, that I can see an opponent travels to Bayern Munich and defend first. Try to keep the clean sheet, try to be so long as possible in the game. So for me, will be a really exciting game already.
Well, they know that they've got a massive task in front of them, Eintracht Frankfurt. They have taken on the mantle of underdogs, but sometimes that can help. And the way things have been going in these behind closed doors is the away team has sometimes seemed to have had more advantage than the home side.
Exactly, and remember the Bundesliga game, the 5-2 to Bayern Munich, 3-0 up. I'm not saying an even game, but Hinteregger scored twice after set pieces, 3-2, and for a moment we all think that can turn completely the game. And today, I'm sure Eintracht Frankfurt will remember that, Bayern Munich too, but Eintracht Frankfurt on top, they know is possible to do something in Munich, be dangerous and score goals. But if you watch the last 10 games from Bayern Munich, they look unstoppable, you have to be honest.
Well, Frankfurt have just sort of imploded isn't the right word, but they've really kind of burnt out. They were shining so brightly last season, the Europa League as well this season, and then everything just started to crumble. Okay, they lost a lot of players in the summer. What do you think that is needing to be done with them? Because it really has, the fire has gone out of Frankfurt a bit.
Yeah, I think it was a really important last Bundesliga week for them. 3 important games, 2 wins for them. That was really important. The one in midweek on Wednesday against Werder Bremen. The away win to Wolfsburg. I think that will give them hope for the away game today in Munich. And then they lost against Mainz. So they came close to be involved in the European places again in the Bundesliga. So overall, I think they can be relaxed a little bit because the pressure in the Bundesliga is gone. They will not go down. And today is the day for them to make it possible to go to Europe again. So exciting to watch today, Eintracht Frankfurt.
They're certainly going to go for it. We're talking about Europe. Hansi Flick and Bayern will still have at the back of their minds that the treble is on this season. The way they've been playing.
Oh, no question. Yeah, and that's why it's our job to tell the supporters that we have an exciting game. Frankfurt will play defensively, organized, only 2 attacking players with Gajinovic and Silva on the pitch, and Bayern Munich playing attacking football. Every game, home, away, no problem, and they dominate all the teams and they score goals, and 90 in the Bundesliga already. So for Bayern Munich, and that's the chance for Eintracht Frankfurt today. For Bayern Munich, they have to win the game and go to Berlin, and they have to win in Berlin on top if they go. So that's, I think, a little bit more pressure to Bayern Munich today than to Eintracht Frankfurt. And of course, if they do it, they can win the treble because the Champions League will come later. Robert
Lewandowski making sure his boots are done up well. They are his shooting boots. He's been using them a lot this season. He set a personal record. He's well above 40 this season, 45 goals. If he scores one tonight, he will level up the Golden Boot for this competition as well, which he's won for the last 3 years in a row. I think it's a likelihood that he will get his name on the score sheet this evening, but you never know with these things. Some other key personnel around there will, as you say, quite rightly be the back line for Frankfurt, how they deal with the threat of Lewandowski, the speed of Alphonso Davies. Perisic is not a slouch either. They've got some players that can come through the midfield in Goretzka and Kimmich. Well, we know Bayern, they can score. Anybody can score at any time. I think the only one that's letting the side down as far as goal scoring is Manuel Neuer, but you know, he's got his own job to do. Frankfurt's chances of winning this evening, I would put at I wouldn't put my house on them winning, but you never know.
Yeah, maybe your doghouse, yeah. Okay.
The kennel.
So, exactly, but no. Let's come back to the loss of Gnabry. I think a little bit pace is gone now in the Bayern Munich side. Perisic is not fast and so dangerous than Gnabry, and then you can be focused a little bit more on Coman. And I think you have to double up Coman, and with the lineup from Frankfurt is possible. Maybe on the left side with Ndika and Chandler, or is it Hinteregger? So they will double up the Bayern attacking side all the time, and Lewandowski will always play against 2 or 3 in the middle of the park, and they will make it difficult for Bayern to come behind the last line.
Well, the referee just taking to the big stage, as it were, Marco Fritz, along with Marcel Pilgrim and Dominic Schall. Marcel Pilgrim is on the left. Martin Peterson is the 4th official. We do have video assistant referees in this one. Bibiana Steinhaus and Markus Schüler will be keeping an eye on things from the monitor. Frankfurt with a special shirt this evening. More on that later. I'm sure we'll get a good shot of it later on. There's Adi Hütter. Won the Austrian Cup as a coach and a player. Would very much like to add the DFB-Pokal to his list. Stefan Ilsanker, very physical player. will no doubt be called upon to stop a few runs today. So after having made everybody dizzy, time to kick the ball. Bayern Munich get this semi-final of the DFB-Pokal underway. The Reds of Munich against the Eagles of Frankfurt. A replay of the 2018 Cup final. A place in this year's DFB-Pokal final in Berlin on the 4th of July is the reward for the winners today. The reward for me today is getting to work with a former Bundesliga professional, Stefan Freund. We often watch games together, and this one has the makings of quite an exciting one if they play true to form.
Good evening, Phil, of course, and it's always a pleasure to work with you. And a semi-final of the German Cup, DFB Cup, is a special game for me too. And of course, we have the KO system, so there's only one chance for both sides, and it's always exciting to commentate because one movement, one goal can change everything.
Well, that's right. We will see a result tonight. Whatever happens, there will be no replay. There'll either be a result after 90 minutes, or we will have 2 periods of extra time, both 15 minutes in length, followed, if it's still level, by a penalty shootout. 5 penalties each. If it's still level, then it'll move to sudden death. Let's hope it doesn't go that far and the game gets settled through brilliant goals and skill. I'm not a huge fan of penalties myself, but I do realise that some people find them irresistible. So Bayern in the red, kicking from right to left. Alphonso Davies with his number 19 on this near side will be looking to get his first DFB goal of the season. 3 games he's played so far. Put it out. The players' voices echoing around the empty Allianz Arena. Oh, Perisic is in there, and a speculative ball back, but he had straight offside. Well, Hinteregger, the number 13, didn't really clear that properly.
But Perisic was offside, and tactically you can see now it is a back 3, and on the left side Chandler, on the right side Touré. If they defend, there will be a back 5. So for me, a little bit surprising that Chandler is playing on the left side, because he's strong on his right foot, is going forward, but he played on that position already that season.
Ball kicked forward by Kevin Trapp, and it's gone out for a Frankfurt throw. Goretzka to Kimmich. Kimmich with the vision to spread it to Pavard. You will be able to hear the players in the stadium. Evan Ndika beating Kingsley Coman for pace. That's a good sign already for Frankfurt fans. Ball over the top is too long. And as in the Bundesliga, I should mention there will be 5 substitutes allowed today as well. Both sides with options on the bench. Bas Dost, one of the main names, and a little too enthusiastic from Davies. Tried to manhandle his way past the order. David Abraham leaves the ball for Hinteregger, who got, well, it would be a little cruel to say a hat-trick in the last time they played. Scored 2 himself and, of course, 1 own goal. I doubt whether he kept the ball, Stefan. I don't know.
What I can remember, that was, yeah, I'm sure it was a special day for him to score 3 goals. And of course, always the worst to score an own goal.
Well, he has got a reputation for scoring goals. I think he's got the most goals for a defender in the Bundesliga this season with 8.
It's true, yeah.
Always a threat at set pieces. Alphonso Davies down the line for Perisic. He's looking for that first-time cross in. Good coverage from the man we were just talking about.
Yeah, and that's the way for Bayern Munich. Come behind Touré with Perisic, and on the other side with Coman behind Chandler. Then it's a long way to defend for the centre-backs Ndika and Abraham.
Header is good and is off the line. That was very, very close indeed. And that's why you always have a man at the back post at a corner. And that was a big fat out of the fire moment there for Frankfurt. They will have to be very, very careful. The kind of mood that Bayern have been in, they've been scoring goals for fun, and they don't look like they're going to stop that anytime soon. Boateng wanted somebody to come. That's a good ball from Boateng now. Knocked on for Thomas Müller, who's gone down, but Perisic has chased it, and his cross underweighted, didn't really get hold of it.
Physically strong from Thomas Müller against Silva. And what a clearance from Dominic Kor. Good position. I like it too to have someone on the post. That's the perfect example. If you lose the header, the 50-50 moment, when the corner comes in, then you need someone on the line.
Well, that's exactly what they had, and that's why they stand there. A number of times you see those goals go in because there's just simply nobody there to back it up. Davies. Back to Alaba. That's a very good ball indeed from Alaba. Perisic, must be a goal, surely. Well, Goretzka went sliding in. Coman arrived a little later, but that's another big warning for Frankfurt.
Yeah, but bad defending from Touré. He's a centre half, normally can play as a right back. But don't be too much in front of Perisic. Drop a little bit deeper. It's too far away, Perisic, from Abraham to stop him.
Another corner from Bayern. Another good header away by Silva. Boateng. And they've got it down, they've got it under control. That's dangerous, and Robert Lewandowski didn't manage to put that one away. I think somebody got a clip on that right at the very last minute that took it off his toe. They still haven't cleared it. Trap. Now Chandler wallops it forward. That's the third really good chance that they've had in this game already, and we're not even 10 minutes in. Kucinovic with a nice little nutmeg, and there's room out here now for Touré. Players on the bench urging Coman to put some pressure on Ndika. But he had plenty of time to get where he was going. Dominic Kor's header on David Alaba, who finds Alphonso Davies waiting for the ball. And a touch for Manuel Neuer. Manuel Neuer can equal Oliver Kahn's record for clean sheets this evening if he keeps one in this competition. Backheel from Chandler intercepted. Perisic waits for reinforcements. Goretzka takes it off him. Leon Goretzka. That was well defended. Thomas Muller kept away from the ball. That's what they're going to need to do more of if they are to get anything out of this game, Frankfurt. Chandler. Core wanted to take it down first time and almost seemed to hesitate. Should I have put my foot through that, or should I try and bring it down, control it?
Yeah, tried to control it. Was good from Core, but the touch was a little bit too heavy. But the last minute was good. Good example. Bayern Munich, good pressing, win the ball early back. So, but if you win the ball, like Ilsanker, then play quickly forward, find Silva, and from there you can start to play. So that was a good movement from Frankfurt.
Well, we see it so often against Bayern. If you only try and defend against them, sooner or later they're going to pick the lock and they'll be in. You do need to put them under pressure when you get the chance. And missed chances against Bayern are nearly always, well, you end up regretting that you didn't take those chances.
Yes, but like now, to go back, leave only Silva up front, that's the way you have to play against Bayern Munich. Defend first and make it difficult for them.
Coman. Still Coman. Now Goretzka. Wanted too long on the ball. Tidied up by Kimmich. Davies. Headed away by Ndika. Hinteregger hit the floor but got up straight away. That was very well done by Roda. Silva's gone on a run. Alaba was following him, but he had to check his run. Now they've lost the ball.
Oh, that's close, but a perfect chip ball. Was it Alaba or Boateng to Müller? And was Hinteregger maybe slightly on the ball, but I'm not sure.
Ball was moving really fast as it came in. Maybe it just curled away from the keeper and curled its way through Robert Lewandowski's legs. Perisic. Massive amount of possession already in this game for Bayern. Coman. They're in behind again. Perisic, Lewandowski. And the bounce takes it out. Might have been a corner.
I think it's okay.
Wasn't the best of heights for Lewandowski.
Yeah.
He indicated he wanted that on the floor, really.
Yeah, and Pavard have to deliver on the floor. In the air is difficult.
It was also at a difficult height, just sort of waist high. You can't really get your knee over it or dip down enough to get your head there. Little nudge from Core on Müller. Ndika back to Kevin Trapp. Jacinovic will chase it. Manuel Neuer will kick it. Come on. Lewandowski. Kept away from the ball. Now Perisic. Powerful header. First goal of the game. Ivan Perisic. Left unattended. Players tend to wander off and cause trouble for you, and that's exactly what Ivan Perisic does. First goal in the competition this season. Good ball through Lewandowski.
Yeah, great chip ball from Coman and then a great ball from Müller to Perisic. And all came from pressing from Frankfurt that didn't work. So they tried to win the ball early. Long ball from Neuer came to Coman, and then they start to play. And then it's too much space for the attacking players of Bayern Munich.
Thomas Muller's second assist in this competition, but of course he's had 20 in the Bundesliga this season. Perisic's first goal in this competition. He won the DFB-Pokal, once with Dortmund, once with Wolfsburg. And he's just put his side in front here. Maybe he could win it with 3 different clubs. That'd be quite an achievement, wouldn't it?
Yeah, there's the hand on Gacinovic. Throw, so it's fine.
You can hear them apologising, and everybody saying, no, it's all right, it was a foul, but we'll just carry on. So that's good to hear too. But now Frankfurt have it all to do. Sebastian Rode. 52 games in all competitions for Bayern, and his time here. Headed out. Something for Muller to chase. Gacinovic wasn't going to take the chance of him poaching that one off of him. Frankfurt pushing forward. Hinteregger left forward as they continue to try and push up on Bayern. Frankfurt today with some very special shirts on. Right across the front, Black Lives Matter in big letters. And I think it's one of the best shirts I've seen all season. Not wanting to jump on any bandwagon left, right, or the centre, but it is a very cool looking shirt. Bayern have also announced their shirt for next season as well recently. All red, which kind of comes as no surprise to anybody.
It looks nice too.
It does indeed. Now, come on. Under pressure. Chandler. Pavard. Rode takes no chances. Ivan Perisic. Trying to look up, last scored against Arminia Bielefeld in last season's competition, I think it was. Took a deflection, it's got some height on it. Frankfurt having difficulty clearing the ball. Davies made the wrong choice, and Dieke's got time to pick a clearance. Hansi Flick won the competition as a player back in 1986 with Bayern. Looking to win it for a 20th time. Come the end of the season, it could be a couple of nice round numbers. 30th ever Bundesliga title. And 20th DFB Cup title. Nothing 100% certain at the moment, though. Zanka. Chandler trying to get around Pavard. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge relieving the airways ever so slightly there with his mask. I'm sure we all know exactly how he feels. And some of the rules will be changing. You'll notice coming the coming weekend. There's another relaxation. The officials and players, substitutes on the benches won't have to wear masks as long as they sit far enough apart. They've played that ball so very well this evening. Perisic. Still Perisic. Müller couldn't turn quick enough. Davies. Abraham got his head to it. And Silva all on his own. He's going to have a very lonely game today. Bayern controlling this game at the moment. But that's what we expected, wasn't it, Stefan?
Yeah, no question. Silva is on his own. All Eintracht Frankfurt players have to defend. But still you can see that on the right and on the left side, the moment when Perisic or Coman or Müller start to run behind Chandler and Touré, it's difficult to defend for Eintracht Frankfurt.
There's Coman again. He's got support. Lewandowski was supplying that support. Lewandowski's tried to take up his normal position, but he wasn't quick enough to get in there and get between Kevin Trapp and the ball. 20 minutes gone. Bayern lead by a single goal to nil. At the moment, it's Ivan Perisic who is the hero for Bayern and the villain for Frankfurt. Despite their long and noble tradition and nearly 100 games in just the Bundesliga alone against each other, this is the first time these two sides have met in the DFB Cup in Berlin. In Munich, I should have said. They did meet 1860 here once, Eintracht. But this is the first time they've met Bayern. I don't know where Berlin came into my head there, but it could be because of the final on the 4th of July. It was a quarter-final they played against 1860 Munich back in the 2005-06 season. Goretzka saw that coming.
The pressing from Bayern Munich when they lose the ball in Eintracht Frankfurt's half are outstanding. It was the same in the last games in Leverkusen in the Bundesliga. And they're looking strong without the ball, and I think that's the key, that Bayern Munich at the moment looks unstoppable.
Is that something you would attribute to Hansi Flick's influence?
Yes, and of course to the team spirit. And then it comes down to Thomas Müller, one of the leaders of on the pitch, that is organizing the pressing, is talking, communication is there. And then they're looking so strong.
Quick shot of Uli Hoeneß there. He's one of the few people allowed in the stadium, of course. That'll run out. No chance for Perisic to chase that down. Over 60% of the ball so far for Hansi Flick's sides. But at the moment, it's not beyond Frankfurt. It needs a good break, a corner, set piece, maybe free kick, and they could get themselves back into this game. What they can't afford to do is let Bayern put any more goals past them. Pavard. Lewandowski. Oh, it's working very nicely for Bayern at the moment. Their pass is going exactly where they wanted. Just the last one there as Müller tried to nutmeg the defender. Or tunnel, as they say in German.
Yeah.
Coman, that took a deflection. Perisic had a lot on it. Lewandowski still not away for Frankfurt. This is Coman. He wants to take it to the line. Pavard will get the chance to cross it in. Makes himself available. Such confidence on the ball. One's lined up for Perisic again, but just not quite tall enough to get it away from Touré. You see the Frankfurt substitutes. They seem to be enjoying the game too, despite being a goal down. Tactically, there's plenty going on. Smooth passing. Touré couldn't get there. Coman could, but he couldn't get his shot on target. That should have been 2-0, and he knows it. Kingsley Coman, who scored at the weekend against Leverkusen.
Yeah, this time, perfect move from Davis over the left side. Perfect pass. Trapp thinks he can catch the ball. Have to score. No question. Have to be the 2-0.
He hadn't been scoring too often up until recently. As I said, he got the goal against Leverkusen, but he'd only scored twice in 19 games before that. Mind you, he does worry defences when he runs at them. That's part of the reason he's there.
Yeah, and his finishing is not like Lewandowski's finish. We have to be honest.
I don't think anybody's finishing is like Lewandowski's finishing.
But it's perfect to talk about that two players. Coman has the pace, can come behind the back 3 or 5 or 4. Oh no!
Kucinovic is in and he's rushed his shot, which is a shame. Loaded with talent, that young lad. It's the goal again.
Spot on from Thomas Müller. Did you see? First touch. Don't wait. Give Perisic the option to score.
Which he took. But they're really, we should mention Filip Kostic as well this evening, because he can be such a vital part of the Frankfurt team. Not always the key man. He's not one of those, if he doesn't play well, the rest of the team doesn't so much. But he's out today, and he's out for the next few Bundesliga, DFB Cup games as well. So they've got to come to terms with being without him.
Yeah, and I can remember the moment in the quarterfinal at home against Werder Bremen. Stupid touch, a stupid foul in the end. And that's why he can't play the next 4 games, or 3 now. They're going through, not the final, 2 rounds next season. So what a bad foul in the end. Stupid foul, maybe.
Costly, I think we'd say costly. Pavard. Delicate, but not delicate enough. Horder. Silva. Andre Silva trying to take on Boateng for pace, which he's done, but Muller is back helping out as well. Good stuff from Andre Silva. Needs to find a colleague now. Mami Touré on this near side. A little better from Frankfurt. The flick was too casual. And they've delivered possession to Bayern again, and now they're in trouble because this is Kingsley Coman. He's gone for the shot. And luckily there's a net across the back of the goal to stop projectiles going in either direction, and in this case it's brought Kingsley Coman's ball back.
And again, Frankfurt tried to go forward with a few more players, and on the counter-attack, Coman is normally 1 against 1, not the best touch.
Well, that is going to put question marks in Frankfurt's minds. Every time they go forward, there is a big danger of getting counter-attacked. But at the flip side of the coin is, if they don't do something, then you're out of the cup. So there'll come a point where they will have to.
But it still looks a little bit too easy for me. Most of the Bundesliga teams have the same problem. When they go a little bit higher against Bayern Munich, 1 long ball, the attacking players are in. And you have to drop a little bit in the right moment.
Dominic Kor to Touré, and now Sebastian Horder. Stefan Ilzanker had a birthday recently. Trying to get in behind that wall of red, and they've managed it. Touré. Horder. Well, he got a shot away. It wasn't on target, but it will boost the confidence slightly.
Yeah, and that shows that if they can keep the ball a little bit longer in Bayern Munich's half, then they can create space. On the left side, Chandler was on his own, and in the end they played to Touré, and he was behind Davis. So it's possible to come behind Bayern Munich's defense.
First shot on goal. At least towards goal. Manuel Neuer has not had a lot to do this evening. There's a lot of space for him to play with if he wants it. He's got the ball back again.
Again, Goretzka. His possession play is outstanding. Central midfield, if they lose the ball, he wins the ball early back. And waiting for his runs to go forward will come in the next few minutes.
Some of my friends on social media have been noticing how Leon Goretzka has put on a bit of beef recently. Can't say I've noticed too much myself, but for those that pay interest in that sort of thing, apparently he's beefed up quite a lot.
Yeah, physically he looks stronger. But I think he didn't lost pace. That's the most important.
Lewandowski. There was a big deflection in there as well. Kevin Trapp. And another worrying moment here.
Here from Ndika, I think, is deflected the shot. Oh, not a lot. Outstanding save from Trapp.
Trapp himself, 3 times winner of the French Cup with Paris Saint-Germain. Kimmich gives the signal. Everybody appealing for possession of the ball. Perisic would have liked a corner there. There's the Bayern bench. Spread out as per the rules as well. Martin Hinteregger with plenty of confidence there. It's not the sort of thing you really need to be doing, is juggling with the ball in front of your own penalty area with Bayern München standing in front of you. But he is that sort of player. Cut out by Alphonso Davies. With those long legs of his, not only used for the speeds there, quite useful getting hold of the ball too. Played every minute so far this season. Benjamin Pavard. What a lovely little flick that was from Perisic. Now Leon Goretzka. Davies cut back. And somebody took that off of Goretzka's toe. Probably a good idea that they did, and Evan Ndika taking no chances either, put that straight out. That was the right move.
Good defending again from Rode, but here you can see the touch from Perisic, and Touré forgot to follow Davies, and again too easy behind Frankfurt's defense.
Kimmich gives the signal. Cleared by Ilzanka. Kocinovic waits for Silva. Kimmich makes the tackle. Again, that pressing in the midfield when Bayern haven't got the ball is top class at the moment.
Yeah, and the responsibility all the players take. If Müller has to go back, he goes. Davies, if he has to go back, he goes. Goretzka and Kimmich are doing anyway world-class defending in the central midfield. So it's so difficult for Frankfurt to come in the last third of the pitch.
Well, this is another thing that I think that underrated perhaps that Hans-Dieter Flick has managed to get going is that again is the sense of team, the camaraderie, the team spirit is it seems to be very Mia San Mia right now.
Yeah, you can see that. The reaction when they lose the ball is amazing how much they changed the beginning of the season under Niko Kovac. That is the truth.
Niko Kovac, of course, who left Frankfurt for Bayern.
Won the double and 4 months later sacked.
It's a tough game, football. It's even tougher if you're a coach, I think. Well, you know from your own experience, just what's not only on the sporting side, but politically.
Yeah, of course, there's always someone in the club who thinks, well, we have to change the coach.
Come on. Beautiful ball, and that's such a very important touch from David Abraham. And the captain turns around and says, well, where were everybody? Where were you? That was just studs, wasn't it?
Monster tackle, we would say.
You'd be right. Bayern have had their chances today to make it 2 in the... certainly in the last 10-15 minutes. Taken it, but Frankfurt will be very aware that they have got players like Thiago that will also be itching to come on. Just know he's going to take his man on if he can.
But this time was better from Touré. Drop a little bit deeper and then let him have the ball, but you can defend and you can help your defense, and Abraham can stay in the middle as a center half. Doesn't have to come out.
Come on. Thought he was going to get the ball back. That one's too long for Davies, and he lets it go. In the last 7 meetings between these two sides in all competitions, there have been 36 goals. I think the last 3 goals, one side has scored. The last 3 games, one side has scored 5.
And there are more goals in the game. You can see that.
Definitely, and we could have seen 3 or so already today. When they played in the first half of the season in the Bundesliga, sending off for the man on the ball right now, Jerome Boateng, tipped the scales firmly in Frankfurt's favour, and they took advantage of it. 5-1. That was the last game for Niko Kovac. He was given his cards after that.
Yeah, half a year later, it's a completely different Bayern Munich side. From their attitude, team spirit, from their working rate, with and without the ball, it looks top class in Europe for sure now.
Alaba, how well he slotted into that role at the back alongside Boateng. Perisic run out of options. It was well done from Emil Zanka. Silva. Challenged by Boateng. Effectively. There's another player who's had a sort of a rebirth, Jerome Boateng, with the change in coaches. Trusted again, like Muller, put in a position where Thomas Muller can just do his best. You see this season, 20 assists. The man knows what he's doing. Silva crosses deep. Pavard bumped off the ball. What do you think there, Stefan? I can see you shaking your head slightly.
In England, it's definitely not a foul because it's shoulder against shoulder, and Chandler is stronger. The ball is free.
And I think Benjamin Pavard is
happy.
Quite happy that the referee...
But still sure there was a free kick for him, that he thinks is a free kick.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I thought that was shoulder to shoulder, at the right distance away from the ball. Muller. That ball's a little hopeful. Here comes Müller again to try and win the ball back again.
Yeah, they can't play from the back. You can see that the pressing is good. They have to play always long balls. And then it's only Silva up front, and to find him is not easy under pressure.
Little flick from Lewandowski, taken on by Kingsley Coman. He's looking for room to shoot. He's just bulldozing his way through. Perisic, blocked from Touré. But they just look as if they're going to score every time they come forward like that.
Yes, and there wasn't a really good pass to Coman. And Dika tried to win the ball. And then the determination from the Bayern players or from Coman to keep the ball in that last third area. And normally is a... he can shoot from that position, from that angle. Not easy, Perisic, but half a chance.
You wouldn't put it past him. Kacinovic, he's looking for the run of Silva. And it's given away again. That's what I was talking about earlier, Stefan. You really can't afford to give up the ball that simply. That was a sturdy challenge from Roda on Goretzka. Kimmich trying to go through the centre. Abraham not having any of that. The ball's given away again too easily. Thomas Müller, Kingsley Coman will not get there.
But again, it was Gacinovic, and he thinks Roda will come or Koa will come and follow him. But it's a long way for central defensive midfielders to go all the way. So Gacinovic have to keep the ball a little bit better.
Touré. And again. It's just not going anywhere when they clear it. Muller's got in behind again. Coman, Hinteregger, now Chandler. Dika turn from Roda. Gacinovic. Roda. It's just 3 white shirts now, 4 slowly coming. Joining their teammates.
Yeah, the 1-0 keeps Eintracht Frankfurt in the game. And more moments like that you play and keep the ball. And then you can create a little bit pressure on Bayern Munich that they have to run back 3-4 times more. And then it starts to be difficult to defend.
Just a couple of minutes to go to the break. An equaliser now would certainly lift Frankfurt's spirits by a long, long way. That was a firm challenge. Referee's going to bring play back, but Touré would have got there. Yellow card for Ivan Perisic. His first one in the competition and only his second one this season.
And look, he's too late. He's catching only the right ankle. Deserved yellow card.
There can be no complaints about that one. So, perfect opportunity.
Set pieces, always a chance for Eintracht Frankfurt. Remember Hinteregger in the Bundesliga game. And it's only 1-0 down. Maybe at halftime if they don't score. And then it's definitely possible something for Eintracht Frankfurt to change in the second half.
Sebastian Roda weighing up the options. What's he gone for? Hinteregger. Shaped to shoot, and then the pass to Ilsanker wasn't really anything that Ilsanker could deal with. And another moment of possible pressure comes and goes. Frankfurt have seen just over 30% of the ball in this first half.
And couldn't create any chance. You have to be honest, Phil, 5-0 chances. 1-0, maybe they deserve a second goal at Bayern Munich.
Shots on goal, 0. That's the half-time whistle. Bayern München go down the tunnel. A goal up, courtesy of Ivan Perisic. It's Bayern München 1, Eintracht Frankfurt 0 at the break. Hansi Flick will probably be quite happy with the way his side have performed in this first half, perhaps thinking he might have had a couple more goals, Stefan.
Exactly, and he was on the touchline all the time. I mean, he knows it's a cup game. No easy mistakes. Organized as a coach from the island what you can do. And now he's a moment tired and thinks, yeah, you have a look. He's thinking about the game and he knows it's only 1-0. Everything works well, but now it's halftime. How can I set up my team to be prepared? It can be difficult, can be a chance. The next chance for Eintracht Frankfurt can be the 1-1. And then you're maybe mentally on the way down. So as a coach, you think about a lot of things.
So we can expect great things possibly in the second half. Both sides still have a chance of getting themselves in the final in Berlin in July the 4th. But we'll have to wait and see how the next 45 minutes plays out. So I hope you can join Stefan Freund and myself in about 15 minutes. Bye for now. Well, finally, the referee Marco Fritz gets the second half underway. Bayern leading by a single goal to 0. A 14th minute Ivan Perisic header separating the two sides at the moment. Separated by a few studio doors further down from me today, obviously with the current situation. Very few people allowed in the stadium. But my co-commentator today, Stefan Freund, is we're at least in the same building, Stefan. It's been an interesting first half, and you were saying that Frankfurt is still not out of it.
Exactly. They couldn't create any chance, but 1-0 down gives you always the chance to score after set pieces. They scored 2 here in the Bundesliga game a few weeks ago. But Bayern Munich could be easy 2 or 3-0 up. 2 fantastic chances for Lewandowski or Coman. But it makes it more interesting maybe for the supporters. Now, look now, if you're physically strong, you can win the ball early back, you can create something.
Martin Hinteregger, very much power in the Frankfurt engine room, does lead by example, and is robust as well. We just saw that there. So, throw in for Timothy Chandler. Order manages to just keep that away from Pavard. Well, it was really well done, except for one thing. There was nobody there to receive the ball, and that was a thumping challenge from Ndicka.
That's a foul. And it was a good example from Rode. So they have not enough confidence in possession, Eintracht Frankfurt. So they do something good, but then they lose the ball. They have to keep the ball a little bit longer, be a little bit more clever on the ball.
Very frustrating. That sort of ball. They were in a good position, and then an intuitive flick from Rode with nobody there gives the ball straight back to Bayern. Pavard. Control from Perisic. Now Thomas Müller looks up. Hinteregger in his way. Oh, Coman's got the ball off of Ndicka, but Hinteregger's there to clear up the mess. Gacinovic can't turn. Frankfurt often finding themselves with their back to the opponent's goal the whole time, just inviting that pressure from the midfield. And Goretzka and Kimmich have been very, very fast to close things down. Boateng. Flick on from Lewandowski, but Perisic beaten to the ball by Abraham, and again the ball given away needlessly. Those can cost you dear. Cost you energy. Stops your flow. Referee waves play on. Come on. Offside. Lewandowski. Didn't like that.
Yeah, that was a kick from his anchor straight to his ankle, and of course then you're not happy.
Absolutely not. Painful too. And you can see from Javi Martinez there, the pitch is quite soft, so they've got the metal tip studs on their boots today. Well, sooner or later he's going to have to make up his mind. Can hear a lot of English out there as well. It's one of the things I've found fascinating since the games behind closed doors started is listening to the amount of conversation and instruction and information that goes on in a game that normally is completely drowned out by the sound of the crowd.
Yes, I agree, and for me it's interesting too, because sometimes you can hear something that, as a former coach, you know what a coach thinks now, what he likes to change or what they have to do better.
I think I read somewhere that Adi Hütter was experimenting with hand signals when it first all started again behind closed doors, so that the opposition didn't know what your instructions were to your centre half. I'm still not quite sure what the hand sign for taking him off at the knees is, Stefan, but...
no, that's not allowed.
It's not allowed anymore, no.
From no one.
Goretzka just seemed to hang in the air forever. Nice little thought for Perisic to chase, but it's just too close for him to do anything good with it. Abraham gets there first. Kor. Silva scored in his last couple of Bundesliga games. Abraham having to play back. Hinteregger the same. Pressure again from Bayern. Good jump from Pavard. Timothy Chandler certainly felt that. He stayed down, but Chandler's there on his own. They'll have a throw-in. Blocked by Boateng. Referee will go across and make sure that Gacinovic is all right.
Head on head, but perfect timed jump from Gacinovic to win a header against the world champion.
So another corner. But this time, it's for Frankfurt. It's their first one of the game. Order. It's wide. It's from something they've been practicing, but obviously not practicing hard enough, Stefan.
Yeah, but difficult.
It's technically very hard.
With your left foot from 20 yards, the hard, strong corner from Rode, difficult to bring on target.
Hinteregger refuses to give up the ball. A bit like high board diving. That particular shot's got a very, very, very high difficulty level. Chandler releases to Kor. Kor is intercepted, and immediately Muller scoops the ball forwards. I thought he was offside. And players brought back anyway. That was a foul on Thomas Muller.
Yes, Hinteregger is too late. Still a good ball from Müller. Good defending from Abraham. If not, maybe is an advantage and Lewandowski goes 1-against-1 with the goalkeeper.
And then there would be not a lot of advantage for Frankfurt, that's for sure. Lewandowski again. Boateng with that long searching ball for Perisic. Lewandowski trying to squeeze past Hinteregger. There's a knock-on to chase. Kacinovic not faster than David Alaba. Well, Bayern have been very shrewd in their acquisition of Alphonso Davies. Moved into that left wing-back position, vacated by David Alaba, and I thought, well, that's a brave decision. But Davies has certainly slotted in very nicely indeed, and Alaba, we always knew was a flexible player. Has done well as well in that centre of defence role that he now has. Ilsanker. Header from Warder. There's a touch from Pavard. Kacinovic forces him wide. Good little bit of pressure from Frankfurt.
Yeah, and overall, best 10 minutes from Eintracht Frankfurt. A little bit more pressure, more pressing. Bayern Munich a little bit more under pressure in possession, and then they start to play long balls. It was the third time now.
You could see they were having to work. They were being made to work by Frankfurt. It's a good ball. Chandler, Kor, Dika. Silva. The amount of chasing he's been doing, sooner or later, I think we're going to have to probably see Bas Dost come on.
Yo, Daichi Kamada
Also an option.
Create something special here.
Kor.
But first, that's what I'm sure Adi Hütter like to see. The determination from Kor, win the ball, and then there's the option for Silva now.
Silva, he's all on his own, and he's fallen over. And they've won it back. Much better from Frankfurt. Warder. Little move on from Kor was intended for Chandler, but it didn't get through. Come on. First time cross for him. Kimmich straight at the keeper. Hinteregger straight up the field. And I do believe there's a little bit of the red stuff coming out of Kimmich's ear. He's bleeding, so we'll have to stop play. We'll have to get that attended to.
Ah, there's the contact. Oh, and Kor is doing that on purpose. He can jump over. Or what do you think, Phil?
I get the feeling that he was trying to avoid Kimmich. I don't think he put his full weight on him, but certainly the studs going across the back of your head like that are going to cause that sort of damage. But you're the former professional, Stefan. I'll take your word for it. If you said that was deliberate. Kimmich, in typical Kimmich fashion, didn't really complain too much. Obviously, he made a noise when it hit.
Yeah, and he was on the ground. That's painful in the first moment. But the replay show for me that
could have been...
could be a red card for Dominic Kor.
So a lucky escape for Dominic Kor. But, free kick for Frankfurt now. Luckily, when your shirt's red, the juice doesn't show so much. But they are going to make him change his shirt to put a fresh one on. Quite right so. It's curled nicely, headed out nicely too. Kucinovic, bit of an up and under. Kor's underneath it. Order. It's whipped very nicely through the entire box and gone out the other side. That's where you need somebody to stick their foot out.
The pace of the cross.
Well, you saw Pavard and I think it was Alaba both ball watching as that one went through. Double substitution by the look of things. I think that was certainly Thiago Luca Hernandez, I think.
Yes.
Getting ready to come on. Fresh legs, a little bit of impetus, and a little bit of creativity as well, as far as Thiago is concerned. And when you think about it, actually, I think Leon Goretzka's been quite quiet in this second half compared to how he was in the first half.
Yes, they dominated the midfield in second half. But as one of Eintracht Frankfurt's strength, you remember last season, most of the European Cup games, their work rate was on the highest level.
That's interesting. So, Luca Hernandez, Kingsley Coman coming on for Perisic.
No, Thiago for Perisic.
And yeah, Thiago, Perisic and Coman Hernandez. So how will that affect the shape now, Stefan, do you think?
Yeah. It's a defensive move. My first reaction. Let's have a look. So Hernandez is playing a left back and Davies is playing left winger now for Perisic.
That makes a lot of sense. Delicately done from Pavard, but showed too much of it to Order.
And Müller's playing on the right side, Coman's position.
Free kick. Dominic Kor laid there until the referee blew the whistle. Arms out, stretched.
Yes, in front of Goretzka, contact is there, foul.
Another one of those moments that Frankfurt need to make use of. So I think they're trying to unleash Davies on that far side. He's still got some energy. Manuel Neuer steering the Reds forward now. Davies. Hernandez gets the first couple of touches of the ball. Slickly done from Thiago. Just oozes quality. And confidence. Alaba. Good run from Alaba. Touré wins the ball. Order. Kacinovic jumped but got nothing of the ball. And aside from the part where he was practicing tap dancing on Joshua Kimmich's head, Dominic Kors had a very industrious evening this evening for Frankfurt, working very hard.
Yeah, and that's why Hansi Flick gives Thiago now chance to play. He's strengthening the central midfield now, I think a little bit defensively. So Müller is playing on the wings and Thiago is a little bit more defensive. Mute and Goretzka maybe a little bit in front. So overall, he likes to close and make it difficult for Frankfurt over the middle.
And, you saw there Danny da Costa and Daichi Kamada about to come on. They're waiting eagerly on the touchline. Good header from Ndika. Silva. Davies has it. He's got Pavard outside him. Lewandowski in front of him. That's too close to Ndika.
Yes, and the sloppy pass from Ilsanker. That's exactly the moment. Keep a little bit more possession. Don't lose the ball easy. It's too dangerous against Bayern Munich. So let's have a look now. Gajinovic for...
And Touré for Danny da Costa. Well, that gives them more attacking than defending if Almame Touré is swapped for Danny da Costa. Daichi Kamada brings a different sort of quality than Gacinovic, but
it's position for position. But I agree, Danny da Costa will go a little bit more forward than Touré, and Kamada will play Gajinovic position. So both teams are still in the same tactical system.
Kamada has scored a couple of goals in this competition and a couple of goals in the Bundesliga this season, a couple of assists as well. Scored the second goal in the quarter-final against Bremen. Six minutes past the hour, still 1-0. Ivan Perisic's goal separates the two sides. Frankfurt not out of it yet. I think it's worth mentioning Andre Silva as well. He's been very patient, and the moments when he's been in the play, he's done good stuff, but he's not really been released to do what he wants to do, and that is get shots on Manuel Neuer's goal.
I agree, but it's difficult against Bayern Munich, and especially that setup with only two attacking players on the pitch makes it difficult for the striker to create any shot or any chance.
Referee. And Dominic Kor at the centre of it again. This time it's Luca Hernandez that's...
Yeah, he's getting the ball, but with straight legs is always a foul, so dangerous play.
Well, I think he's not too far off a yellow card now, Dominic Kor, I wouldn't have thought. get the feeling that Bayern would really be happier if they had a second goal. Thiago moves the ball fast. Lewandowski. Pavard. Ooh. Good eye for a pass. Müller was lurking, and Müller keeps Hinteregger quiet there. Bayern have won their last 11 meetings in Munich. Fonzie left it, and that is exactly what Danny da Costa was waiting for. He got the opportunity, and he sprang the trap. Alphonso Davies left that ball, and he really shouldn't have done, Stefan.
Yeah, but look at Kamada. Chandler now, the cross, the movement from Kamada, first touch good, keep the ball. Thiago not strong enough. And then deflected cross, I think it was from Boateng. Here's the deflection. And the perfect movement, the perfect finish from da Costa. Frankfurt is back.
And I'm probably a little harsh on Alphonso Davies there. It should have been Hernandez that had gone in and cleared that one.
Yeah, but it was deflected from Boateng, so it's never easy to defend the deflected cross.
Well, I must admit, I'm a little bit annoyed with Danny da Costa because I have him in my fantasy football team, and he very rarely scores in the Bundesliga. And now he's got one here.
Okay.
That won't count towards my points this weekend.
Unlucky for you.
There you go. Now, all of a sudden, Frankfurt's tail is well and truly up, and that took a deflection. And it sounded as if it did, but I'm sure everybody else has noticed the ball noises sound different without a crowd in the stadium. I mean, it's not an ideal situation with no fans in the stadium, but we're very lucky that we can at least have football to watch. The DFB have worked together with the authorities to make sure everything is done in the best possible interests of everybody concerned. A little bit of frustration there, Stefan?
Yeah, and exactly. I know I don't like to mention it, but that's always football. When you 1-0 down, you could be 3-0 up, then it's halftime, and then there's a chance for a coach. And Adi Hütter, I'm sure, pushed his team in a way, believe a little bit more, press a little bit more aggressive, like we did in the last whole season. And exactly happened now. First chance, first goal, and now you can see the confidence from Frankfurt is going up.
Well, it's the thing. They know they can beat Bayern. They did so in the cup final just 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, and it's the momentum now that gives them the push. Now they are far more brave in possession, and Bayern Munich. So now we will see how strong they are. We know they are the best team in Germany, but that's a hard moment so far. Or the hardest moment for Bayern Munich after the coronavirus break.
A test. Roda got on it immediately, and then Danny da Costa just a little over-ambitious with his pass. And Stefan, you're jumping up and down right now. What's
yeah. No, because I'm happy for the supporters too at home. We have a cup game now, so Frankfurt is really back in the game. I still believe that Bayern Munich are the better side, and normally in the end they win the game. But that's what we all want. And don't forget, the last 11 games, only wins for Bayern Munich. They're unstoppable. No chances for every team in Germany. And after 72 minutes, we have a 1-1 in the semi-final of the German Cup.
There are still over 15 minutes to go. And if it's 1-1 after 90 minutes, they'll be a period of extra time. 2 lots of 15 minutes now. Davies can't get on the end of that. Lewandowski's chasing it. They're almost playing like with 2 men up front with Davies alongside Lewandowski. That's going to be scary for any defence that sees them coming.
No, but they have 3 like Müller. They have 3 players up front. There's a lot of rotation, Phil. Because Müller can play on the left, on the right, in the middle. Lewandowski can play all 3 positions, and Davies too.
Müller got an opportunity to get a shot away there. Kimmich jumps the challenge. This is Leon Goretzka. He can hit the ball from distance. He's gone for the pass when maybe he should have kept hold of it. But that goal has now spurred Bayern into action as well.
They're coming back at the moment. You can see
Goretzka.
determination.
This is Davies. Knocks it off. They knock it back and they knock it in. No. The flag is up.
Oh, but outstanding football from Bayern Munich.
It was gorgeous. Oh. The red ballet. And I'm thinking he's not that offside.
Will be the 2-1 for Bayern Munich.
I'm going to look at that.
No, for sure, you're right.
Doesn't look offside to me. I think Lewandowski's just grabbed his 46th goal of the season.
2-1 to Bayern Munich.
That's the goal that they were looking for, I'm sure. Let's wait. Hansi Flick doesn't know. Bibiana Steinhaus and Markus Schüller are looking at it. And I think that's going to be a goal.
I'm sure you're right. I think it was the left ankle from Hinteregger, a little bit deeper than Davies.
The goal at the weekend for Leverkusen, Alaba's sole of his shoe played Leverkusen onside. He's looked at it, it's a goal. Robert Lewandowski scores his 46th goal in all competitions, a personal best for him in a single season. But it was a well-worked team goal.
Yeah, Goretzka to Davies, and then an easy tap in for Lewandowski in the end. Master teamwork.
Dare I say it, it is what Robert Lewandowski does for a living. But you've got to be in the right place at the right time, like Erling Haaland. He's got that nose to be standing.
But did you see the assist from Kimmich? So Kimmich, the holding midfielder, is there to give Lewandowski the tap in. And that shows Bayern Munich's quality and individual class.
It was intelligent football. Very intelligent from Kimmich. He knew he couldn't get a touch on it, but he knew where Lewandowski was. Just knocked it on. That's another assist for him this season. That's his 3rd in the cup. He's had 7 in the league as well. And Frankfurt find themselves back where they were. Will that knock the wind out of their sails, or will they be able to continue and pull themselves back into the game again? It didn't last very long, just about 5 minutes. Substitution, Bas Dost will be coming on. And Dominic Court coming off. That might be a sensible move too.
That's the attacking move now.
And number 16, which is of course Lucas Toro, on for Stefan Ilzacker. Very much an attacking move, bringing on Dost. Toro is a defensive midfielder by trade. Dost scores goals for a living. Can he get something here? It's been headed down, and Dicker. Corner.
So 2 strikers on the pitch now. Dost and Silva, a Kamada behind.
It's high. And it's wide. And not very handsome, but that's the way it goes. That little flick into the path of Lewandowski. And Freddy Bobic prowling, and he won't be too happy that his side have given Bayern the lead again. Well, it's going to be a free kick for Frankfurt.
More and more set pieces for Eintracht Frankfurt. That's dangerous for Bayern. Pavard is a little bit too late, and then is the contact there.
I think Chandler went down a little bit late for my liking, but it was a foul. He only went down, I think, when he realised he wasn't going to get to the ball.
We will discuss that when they score now.
Come on. Oh! Toro with his first touch of the ball, really.
Deflected from Lewandowski, and he was surprised.
And you saw where he thought that ball was going. He'd picked his corner. Abraham makes it difficult for Alaba. Silva. Dost is making his way into the box. Silva tries to find him.
Great defending from Jerome Boateng.
Kamada. Silva's stuck. Kamada. Oh, around Bas Dost's back and then out. That was nervy stuff from Bayern. You don't often see that. And look who's back there helping out.
Yeah, and good football from Eintracht Frankfurt. They keep the ball in the final third.
Long throw from Chandler. Miller's clearance only as far as Abraham. He could have continued there. Handball. It's not what you need when you're trying to put Bayern under pressure, is the ball jumping up and hitting your hand.
But it was a handball.
10 minutes to go. 2-1 the score. Goals from Ivan Perisic, Danny da Costa, and the one, the very only, Robert Lewandowski. That's a poor kick from Manuel Neuer. Don't often see those. Adi Hütter and his side haven't been brilliant away from home this season. But this season has been like no other season for everyone. Davis' ball cut out, but he's there to pick it up again. That's one of those things that he does. He can run all day. Leon Goretzka. Thomas Muller with the first time cross, blocked though. Chandler just hits and hopes that Dost or Silva will get on the end of it. Turn from Davies. This is where they scored before when he was up. Ooh, Lewandowski was so close to that one. That's a big goal he scored as well. That means he's level top scorer in the competition with Ruven Hennings of Dusseldorf.
Yeah, and would be the winning goal. What a season for Lewandowski, no question.
The season isn't over yet. Still 4 more games to go in the Bundesliga, as well you know, because you'll be commentating on quite a few of them with me. And there's another foul. Abraham.
He's sure that he was jumping 50-50 decision. I think Lewandowski's a moment earlier on the ball, and then it's a foul.
I think I agree with you there. I think he also jumps in.
Yeah, but in Lewandowski's back. And he got a touch, Lewandowski. Then Abraham have to touch the ball. Then it's a 50-50 ball, and then it's fine.
Thiago with that turn that he likes to do, but Abraham read it, and he was tugged back as well. Dost. Order. Silva fouled again.
Lots of passion in the game now. I like that.
They're fighting.
Yes, both teams are working really hard now, and Bayern Munich, they know they have to be careful, they have to dig in, they have to win the balls back.
There's a lot of fight out there, a good fight. Not that the game has turned nasty, but there's some gritted teeth out there as both sides trying to make sure that they get the better of the other. Alphonso Davies. Davies gets it to Thomas Müller. Müller only able to give Frankfurt the opportunity to hit the ball long, because that's where we're at now. It's last chance saloon arriving with every second. Javi Martinez about to come on. It's a big kick. Silva couldn't jump high enough. Both sides lumping it forward in the hope that it will bring them some advantage.
Oh, it's an open game now. It's great to watch.
Kamada.
I think there's another goal in the game.
This time, Pavard punished for the challenge on Andre Silva. Went in with his stud showing, I think, a little bit there, and might have got a card for that, but Goretzka now able to make way for Javi Martinez, who has only scored once in the DFB, and that was a goal in the semi-final against Dortmund, which they lost 3-1, 3-2, beg your pardon.
And that's a defensive move on top. Goretzka is playing more attacking football than Martinez.
Another corner.
So Hansi Flick knows now we have to stretch the defense. Eintracht Frankfurt tries everything. The work rate is on the highest level. Now he needs players that can win the ball back, like Martinez.
They've been monsters at corners this season. They've 13 in the Bundesliga. Oh, that was Martinez making his presence felt straight away. Lucas Toro. Back heel doesn't work for him.
Yeah, and Silva was ready behind to score the
He was going to nod that one in very nicely if it weren't for the presence of Javi Martinez. His first DFB Cup game this season. Thiago. Little touch from Lewandowski is exquisite. And now the chance to run on. Müller quite happy to tee up Lewandowski. Lewandowski wants it on his left leg. And the challenge was timely.
Yeah, the first touch from Lewandowski was a little bit earlier, that one. Good defending from Toro. But before, he could be one against one with Trapp. Great run and pass from Müller before.
I kind of wanted Müller to thrash that one at the goal. Well, that's just me. He did the right thing, which was to try and play Lewandowski in, but I would have fancied him having a crack at that. Still, play continues. Chandler for Frankfurt. Andre Silva trying to open that near side flank up.
Yeah, both coaches pushing every player now forward. They will play forechecking to the end of the game. Try to win the ball early back and maybe create another chance.
Andre Silva getting his first yellow cards in the competition. A couple of minutes to go. Just a little bit too much complaining from him. Dost's header. Two number 9s tangling.
Dost won the header, but I'm not sure there was contact to Lewandowski. Definitely not from Bastos, because he's winning the header. So I think it was it Lucas Toro? See the replay.
Bayern taking their time. Conceding now would be not ideal for Bayern, obviously, but Frankfurt could push the game to extra time. Lewandowski with a foul on Hinteregger. And Hinteregger and Lewandowski able to exchange a joke.
But it's great to watch, because so much passion in the game, but they still have a laugh in the moment that shows that it's only football and you're still enjoying the game.
You can enjoy the trials and tribulations despite both sides really wanting to win the game. So another substitution looks possible, or is that going to be time added on? I think it will probably be for the time added on. Little flick, Lewandowski. 4 minutes to be added on. That's time enough for Frankfurt to score a goal. They've played valiantly. "19 times Bayern Munich have won the DFB-Pokal. Five times Frankfurt. But at the moment, it looks like Bayern might be getting the chance to go on to win it for a record 20th time and get into their 24th final. Frankfurt, who've not managed to beat Bayern in Munich since the turn of the century, have got very little time left to force this game into extra time. Hopeful ball. Lewandowski. Davies leaves it for Kimmich. Now Davies goes off at a breakneck speed, but has to check his run. Lewandowski's on that far side. They don't have to do anything with the ball, Bayern. Neuer's control is what we've come to expect from Manuel Neuer. Straight onto the microphone. And it's all getting a little unnecessary over there. Certainly not the first thing I'd do is push Martin Hinteregger around.
He's going to Thiago now, will apologize.
It always sounds worse when the player lands on our microphones. But there will be a yellow card for Martin Hinteregger.
Yeah, deserved one. We don't need the replay. and of course,
sorry.
And of course,
understatement of the game award goes to Stefan Freud.
Yeah, and for Hernandez too, because he overreacted. There you can see
he gives him a shove.
Oh, but he's still looking for the ball. But dangerous play, look on his left, but there's the microphone. That's not Hinteregger's fault that there's a microphone. But overall, yeah, that's stupid from Hernandez. Go away and support your player.
Well, I think Thiago will be able to continue. I'm not so sure the microphone will be, but
good point.
He's certainly taking his time, and
but it's the perfect moment to give credit to both teams. Yeah, that shows it. I think that was the first game for a long time that a team came close to maybe take a draw against Bayern Munich.
Yes. The 0-0 draw against Leipzig in the league was the last one.
That was the last one, can remember, yeah.
Oh, deflection possibly, no. My ears are not properly tuned. That's the second time today I've thought that there was a clip on there, but it
was the third time.
Was it the third time? But the acoustics are certainly different. Martinez just clobbers that one. Oliver Kahn.
And for the supporters, 2-2 chances second half. So it was an even second half, and Frankfurt came close.
Well, Oliver Kahn was looking relaxed and slightly relieved there, and I think it's because his record is still intact. Manuel Neuer's hovering on his record. 32 clean sheets in the DFB-Pokal, one short of Kahn, who is the record holder. Referee brings the game to a close, and Bayern Munich are in the final on the 4th of July to play Bayer Leverkusen. Another goal for Robert Lewandowski in his finest season ever. A 24th final appearance for the record title holders, and it was so close for Frankfurt. It's finished Bayern Munich 2, Eintracht Frankfurt 1. They gave it a good go, Frankfurt. They will be not too displeased with the way they played. It's been quite a better game for them than they've been playing recently, but it still wasn't what they wanted.
Yeah, but the match plan from Adi Hütter was good. Defend first, only 2 attacking players on the pitch. Of course, Bayern Munich created good chances first half, could go easy 2 or 3-0, but it was only 1-0, and I think that's what Adi Hütter wanted. Then second half, try to go a little bit more forward with Bastos, Kamada, players that can create something later. And they came back for a moment. And then you saw the strength of Bayern Munich, that they can create from everywhere. And that was Kimmich to give Lewandowski an easy tap in and a fantastic team play before the second goal. And they can defend. The last 10 minutes, they defend against Eintracht Frankfurt at home. So overall, a really good cup game. And I think it was tighter than we all been thinking before the game.
I thought it would be a tough job for Frankfurt. They gave it a good crack of the whip. They've now scored in their last 15 cup games, but Bayern, well, they've scored in their last 21 cup games, plus this one, and this one as well for Frankfurt. In the end, Bayern, who have come to regard the DFB-Pokal as their own over the years, will be in the final in the Olympiastadion on July the 4th. I don't think I will be, unfortunately. I might be in a studio somewhere, though, hopefully bringing you the game. Stefan, that's it for another semi-final of the DFB-Pokal.
Yeah, an exciting one, I have to remember. I think it was really good to work today as a co-commentator next to you and enjoy football again.
Absolutely. It's coming slowly back, and this is where you can see it. Well, that's it. It's finished. Bayern 2, Frankfurt 1. Thanks for joining Stefan Freund and myself, Phil Bonney, as the lid closes on this one. We look forward to the final in Berlin on July the 4th. Bye for now.
Bye.